Hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the Raceway at Western Fair District, London, Ontario. Guest driver with me for the show. Once again, we've got John Hahn. I'm your track announcer, Shannon Doyle, with you. 10 races underway this evening around 6:15 Eastern. John, you walked over from the paddock. You got to look at the track there. How is the track for tonight?
It looked all right. I mean, it was a little sticky maybe on the outside. I didn't get down to the inside, but definitely looks better than last night.
I'll tell you what, it was messy here last night. The track variant, I think it was 6 seconds, and I don't know if I've ever called races here when it's been 6 seconds off.
Yeah, no, it looked pretty bad.
But a great job of the horsemen to get around there last night, get the card in. You're thinking a much better track tonight.
I would think so, yeah.
Alrighty, HBI bet play of the day, one that we'll see John drive right here in the third race tonight, number 8, Mock's Not Afraid. You're going to get some value here, I'm thinking. He's 48-1, 2 starts ago. He's 19-1 last time, down to 4-1 tonight. A sharp runner-up finish there, 2 back. Absolutely no room there in the latest. You're really liking your chances here, hey?
I am. I think he should be all right, and if he raced like he did last week, he should be good.
I'll tell you what, if you find room last week, you're a winner then, right?
Yeah, I think so.
We're going to take a closer look at that replay from Mock's Not Afraid last week here. We'll do that in the second part of the show, but right now let's get a look at our early pick 3 play for tonight. It's the TVG pick 3. They are picking up our first races tonight, so you are playing into some nice pools here early on in London. Going to use a 2, 3, and 8 to kick things off. Over into race number 2. We're 4 deep in there and 5 deep in the third. Bit wide open there where, again, we see John Hahn driving the 8. Mock's Not Afraid. There are others to be thinking about as well, but we've used the 8, Mock's Not Afraid, as tonight's play of the day. Early pick 4 starts in that third race. Stay with the same 5, and over into race 4, it's the 2, Stonebridge Fancy, or the 8, Furiosa off the qualifier. And 3 deep in races 5 and 6 to round out the early pick 4. Late pick 4 starts up in race number 7. Number 2, Miss Brandy K has that good gate speed. I'm not sure how the speed will figure tonight. The speed held up well last night, John, hey, with the off conditions.
It did, yeah.
Normally that's the case here in London, I'm thinking, when we've got an off track, but I'm thinking we're going to be on a good track to begin this evening's action. Drier conditions, of course, more so than last evening. 9th race, key in on number 3, Apple Tart Hanover, showing some really good speed over Flamborough. The last time she was in London, threw in a bit of a clunker, though she was up in class for that. She's getting some major class relief there in the 9th tonight. Number 3, Apple Tart Hanover, my key to a late pick 4. We're 5 deep in the finale to complete it. We're going to take a short break right now. We'll come back with a whole lot more, including we're going to take a closer look at that Mock's Not Afraid for John here in race number 3. We'll go back to his last replay. John's got top selections for each and every race tonight, too, to give our horse players a little help for this edition of Survivor Tuesday. Stick around.
HPIBet.com. Access, rewards, and more.
Hey, welcome back to Race Day, everyone. We've got 10 races, harness races here in London tonight. Our guest driver for the pregame show, John Hahn, has been with us before. We'll see him in action in the third race tonight aboard one that I think is kind of live. The 8, Mock's Not Afraid, has been at huge odds in his last couple of starts. It was the start 2 back there where you went first up for a long ways, a strong second. You were at 48-1 trying to blow things up here, John.
I did, yeah. No, he felt good that night, too, and I think I had to move him. There was a horse in front of me that was maybe gapping off a bit, and I took a chance, and he raced big that night.
I'll tell you what, you just missed that night. Last week, we're going to bring up the replay now. We're going to pick it up around the quarter mile here, where you're going to be sitting 4th with Mock's Not Afraid. Cutting this one out, it's going to be Chick McGuire. Chick McGuire was coming in and does like to race on the lead. Pocket sitting here would be Silver Hill Spike, who was tugging hard here for Paul McKenzie. So the opening quarter is 28-2, but the second quarter is where it gets tricky. Again, you're sitting 4th here. They're tapping it up right here, though. The second quarter is going to be 31-3. The backfield gets in motion. Your horse kind of eyeing the outside. The horse in front of you kind of eyeing the outside. But that second quarter shutdown, it just threw a wrench into things, eh?
Yeah, it did. And, like, maybe I should have gotten Ryan's back, but I was 19-1, and I kind of talked to Jamie before, and maybe he wasn't sure how he's coming into form to race. But, so I stayed in, and, you know, I was kind of hoping, well, I maybe should still be able to get out, but...
Right here, it looked like he might get, because that Deluxe Sealster, he's out there fourth on the outside. He likes to just lay out there.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, and
he just wouldn't let up enough for you, right?
No, and then right here, you know, he felt good. I was kind of on Jay's helmet there, and I was still hoping maybe I'd squeeze out here, but
then the four's starting to come back, and you're thinking, well, you know what? Maybe I might get room here coming in the stretch. Silver Hill Spike is on the outside against Chick McGuire. You're locked and blocked, and you're full of if you get room here, you're a winner.
Yeah, I think so. I think I am. You know, he felt good there, and just, you know, right here, I knew I wasn't going to get out because Paul's horse was kind of running in, and I just thought, well,
get what you can.
I get what we can, and
winning this race, Deluxe Sealster, just a big lazy thing that just kept on coming and wouldn't go away. But there you are, running over them there, finishing fourth. We'll see you with this horse in tonight's third race. You will follow out some speed with the one. Edam's Right Ready. I think you can toss out that last line for Edam's Right Ready in the third race. Finished well back there, so something wasn't right. But again, this one has some early gate speed, and that's who you will follow. Any kind of trip at all, any kind of daylight late in the mile, you're in with a great shot, I believe.
Oh, I think so, yeah, for sure. I mean, if Bruce can get away good, and maybe I can stay right in his back, and if there is some room late or whenever I can move him, I think we should be good.
Sure thing. One to be thinking about, number 8, Mock's Not Afraid for driver John Hahn. Final leg of the early pick 3 and opening leg for tonight's early pick 4. So, all right then, John, you've had the program pretty much all weekend, hey? Yep. And you know what? Horse players do enjoy seeing our drivers or horse people come in and select some horses. This week's edition of Survivor Tuesdays, you know what? A top pick for each race. Let's start off in race number 1. John, tell us about your top selection here.
So I went to the number 2 horse, Richard Morrow, obviously well-respected trainer, and Elfie. Usually when they team up, you know, they always come to play. So
it's very tight for the trainer standings for wins 2018 at the Raceway. Richard Morrow right up there with Vic Putty, Patrick Shepard. I believe there's 2 wins. Maybe it's 1 win now separating those top 3 trainers for wins 2018. So Richard Morrow sending out what could be a live one there. Lions Amusements comes in from Woodbine Mohawk Park. You know, it's tough for a young horse to come in from a big track to the small. You know, you wonder, can he get around it?
Yeah, exactly. And he's 2 years old, so, but, you know, I think he should be all right. I'm hoping so anyways.
All righty. Maybe one to kick off this week's edition of Survivor Tuesday, the 2 in the opener. Over to race number 2 and number 3, Incredible Dance. Coming off the vet scratch sick, but John Pentland puts her in the box. Scott Young stays on.
Yeah, you know, like she looks, her miles have been good there, and draws kind of inside, and then no, I think she'll be tough in there.
She was well meant last time out. Probably she was an even money favorite, but something was amiss, and then she scratched sick, so she's probably a little bit sick there last time out.
Exactly. Yep.
All right, over into the third race. We've talked about your 8, Mock's Not Afraid. Good luck with that one. We'll be rooting for you.
All right, thank you.
Let's flip on to race number 4. Then this 2, Stonebridge Fancy, has been all right. Sharp winner there last time out. Went first up in the early going and cleared to the lead for the Brickmans. Garrett Rooney.
Yeah.
No stranger to winner's circle here.
Oh, absolutely not. No. And you know, all of his miles show good. 2-2, 2-1.
Right
so
on.
I think he'll be up close as well.
Yeah, I went back to his replay there on October 30th where he was sitting last and closed well to finish 4th. And that was into a quickening half, too. So number 2, Stonebridge Fancy, definitely some talent there in race number 4. 5th race on the rail for Carroll, hey?
Yeah, right back to Elfie here. I mean, the rail, and obviously he shows, I think, 3 back. He win, 2-1, right in the front, so I'm sure he'll be up close.
Yeah, nothing but first and seconds in the program lines there. Definitely likes to be up close, and that rail advantage should help, eh?
Exactly, for sure.
Might have helped last night, eh? If she didn't go last night. That front end speed, I'll tell you what, they just couldn't make it up. Any horse that could come from the back last night on that off track, kudos to you, because you know what, it was tough. The front end speed definitely held up here last night. Race number 6, you're going to another speed horse here.
Yeah, TR Alexis Cam, and yeah, same thing. It's got the 4-hole, which is pretty good, but you know, shows leaving hard, and I think I got Colin Kelly down for 4 tonight, so hopefully he helps me out here. And,
Colin Kelly, maybe for a big night then, eh? Well, he's been doing all right here lately in London. Over to race number 7, then this one to start a late pick 4. Going for some more speed here. You like the speed tonight, eh?
I do, yeah. And I qualified this mare and drove her once for Dave.
Sure.
And she does have gate speed, and she's dropping down in class, so I think she should be tough in here.
You know what? You go into last week's race there. She's in the preferred, but the start before that, she had raced October 20th, then vet scratch sick. It's very tough this time of year when you miss time and you're coming in off a sick, right? Like this time of year, because the tracks aren't as fast as they are in the summertime. You're coming into some not so great conditions. It's winter racing conditions, and when you scratch or you've missed some time, very tough to come back.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
But now she's got a start underneath her belt. Expecting more from number 2, Miss Brandy Kay there in race 7. 8th race, Trotters. It's the return of number 4, De La Magician, to the races. Never been here in London before. Top 3 finish for De La Magician today. Gets some over $2 million in earning. You're looking elsewhere, though, hey?
Yeah, I went to Nebraska, Jack. I mean, nothing against De La Magician at all, obviously.
Very
but
nice horse,
exactly. Again, back to Colin Kelly. He can leave. He went right in the front there, 2 back. So I think, I think Colin will be right close up there. But of course, De La Magician, just a great old horse.
Talking about Nebraska, Jack, there, your top selection. Steve Boston's does a wonderful job there with the Trotters. A great claim for that one. Nothing but first and second. And his last 4 outings, and should be on or near the lead once again. Another live one maybe for Colin Kelly, says our guest John Hahn. Over into the 9th race. Another one for Colin, hey?
Yeah, right back to him. Same thing. Was sick last one, but then 56, 57 on his program at Flamborough. Now I know Flamborough may be a bit faster, but
it is too. I've explained that a few times in the show. What is it about Flamborough? It's the speed, right? The speed, obviously. You don't see the movement there, I'm thinking, that you do here. I mean, we're out and rolling at the quarter mile here, but I've mentioned it a few times. Usually a second or two this time of year, right? Flamborough versus London.
For sure, yeah. Flamborough just seems like they just keep going.
Right.
Like they just pedal in the metal. We're here. Some guys try to get a breather, and maybe that's why we move early.
More of a chess match here
Exactly,
sometimes, especially last week.
Yeah.
More of a chess match,
But, I think Colin should be tough in here again, and it shows leaving as well, too.
Major class relief, too. I mean, this is the $7,000 claimers on the lower end, too, lower end of the scale. 10th and final, then. Why not? Go back to your buddy Colin,
That's it. Yeah, we'll go back to him. Rail.
Good
win,
form.
Yeah, win last week. Yeah. So, and Terry McKibben obviously does a great job, too, as well. So, we'll hope Colin has a big night.
Yeah, well, you've got him pegged for one. Good luck, Colin Kelly, and great job on the show, John. Shout-outs this evening?
Just to my family, my friends, and my good buddy Kyle in Amherstburg.
Right on. Wonderful job in the pregame show. Always a pleasure to have you in.
Thank
Good
you so
luck
much.
with Mox Not Afraid in the third, our HBI Bet play of the day. Let's go back and do some recapping now. Some pick 3 and pick 4 playing. This is the TVG pick 3 right up front, race number 1. Last night it was just shy of $5,000 in that pick 3 pool, so go ahead, give it some thought, and take a shot. We're using a 2, 3, and 8 to kick things off. John's top selection here in the opener, the Woodbine Mohawk Park shipper, Lions Amusements, comes in for trainer Richard Morrow. Alfie Carroll, first time ever on a half miler for the 2-year-old, son of Well Said. Over to race 2, we're 4 deep in there. Went 5 deep in race number 3, another wide open affair where we see the play of the day. Mox Not Afraid from that trailing spot 8. You're not going to get double-digit odds on him tonight. He's been that way in his last 2 outings, but he's been really good. First up for a long ways, 2 back to finish second. Absolutely nowhere to go. Last time out, that was 8. Mox Not Afraid. We'll see in race number 3. Opening leg of an early pick 4. Use the same 5 to kick it off. It's either 2, Stonebridge Fancy, or 8, Furiosa for me in the 4th race. We're 3 deep in the 5th and 6th. And over into race number 7 to start up a late pick 4. 3 deep to kick it off. Using one of John's top selections here, Miss Brandy Kay at a post 2. She needed that last start after scratching sick and being away for a month, so expecting more from her tonight. Over into race number 8. Raceway debut here for number 4, De La Magician. This one's never been to London before, but he has raced over the half mile. I believe his last half mile victory came in the Cleveland Classic over Northfield Park, and I believe that was back in 2015. So it's been a few years since this one's hit the winner's circle. Daylon Magician with us for his Raceway debut tonight from race number 8. He'll leave from post 4. It's a key for me in the 9th, and it's a top selection for John Hahn as well. Colin Kelly aboard number 3, Apple Tart Hanover, getting major class relief there in the 9th. 5 deep in race number 10 to complete the late pick 4. Cameraman Trev standing by patiently. What do you got for us, Trev? Race 8, number 7, All Out Henry. Are you serious? Yeah, he's smiling now. All Out Henry for the outside chance. Scott Young could be the answer with probably one of the longest shots on the board in there for the cameraman's play of the day. Boy, is he ever stepping off the ledge there. All Out Henry for the cameraman play of the day. Race number 8. Survivor Tuesday. It's today. Always free to play, online or on track. Chance for you to win a $100 deposit in your HBI account. It's brought to you each and every week by HBI Bet and Western Fair District. Closing boards. All you need is on our website at westernfairdistrict.com/raceway. You get free programs, selections, video replays, and more. Check it out. It's 10 races underway, 6:15 Eastern. Again, first 3 races featured on the TVG network, all 10, of course, on HPI. Good luck tonight.